Okay, hey everybody. Decided that I'm going to show you how to make Marry Me Chicken. We're going to both learn together because I've never done it before. Everybody keeps talking about how great it is, so I figured I'd give it a shot. We're using the recipe from Kristen Casper, and she gets her recipe from delish.com. So that's going to be the recipe that I go with, and I'm going to have to make a couple of little substitutions, so you'll have to bear with me on those. First, you need to get you some olive oil hot in the pan, and you use salt and pepper, your chicken thighs. I think you can actually use breast with this too, but I have thighs. That's what I'm going to use today. And also, what else was I going to say? Let's do skin side down first, and we're going to add a couple of extra thighs to it. I didn't think it'd make much of a difference in the recipe. The recipe calls for 6 with the skin on, and I'm gonna do 8. And the only thing that you're doing, your goal here with frying these, is not to get it all the way cooked all the way through. You're gonna do that later on. Right now, it's just to kind of braise the outside or brown the outside of it. So hang on, and we'll do the rest of them, and then I'll come back and show you what to do next. Okay, so you braise all your chicken. You take it out, set it on a plate. I put it on a paper towel plate. And the recipe says to pour off half of the grease from the cookie. So I did that. Alright, next thing, let's return this skillet to medium heat. You need to add your garlic. We kind of are doubling the sauce on this. So it says 2 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna do 3. You add them to your hot skillet. Okay. And let's see, the thyme, it says 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme. And I do not have fresh, I have dried. So we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of dried thyme. 1 and 2. Let me turn down my heat just a little bit. Alright, and a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. We're okay with a little bit of heat, but I don't want to put a lot in there, so I'm only going to do about a half a teaspoon of that. And I know I would need to have doubled it and made a whole one, you know, but like I said, my family does not like the heat. So, stir that up. Turn down your heat a little bit more if it seems like it's cooking a little too fast. So then you cook for about a minute. And I'd say it's been about a minute. Almost a minute. You don't want it to stick, and it will stick if you don't hurry up and get something in there. So we need to add our broth. We need to get that in there so it don't stick, like I said. And I didn't have heavy cream. So we're going to do what I do have, which is half and half, which is like a watered down cream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cup of it. It calls for a half, but we're doubling. Got that in there. And let's see what's next. Heavy cream. Oh, our sun-dried tomatoes. It called for a half a cup of chopped. Let's see what I've got here. I have got a jar that is already chopped. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get 1 cupful, because like I said, I'm doubling the sauce. And I've never cooked with sun-dried tomatoes. This will be interesting. I'm not sure what this is even going to taste like. So this is the jar that I used for the tomatoes. That's what I found in my store, Walmart, and it was fairly cheap. It says to go ahead and add the sun-dried tomatoes with everything else. Okay. And the other problem that I had with the recipe is that it called for Parm cheese, and I was going to need about a half a cup. Guess what I had? Not a half a cup. I think I'm lucky if I've got a quarter of it. Yeah. So I'm just going to put all that in there and hope for the best. But when you make this, you need to have all the things ready for you. Get all the right ingredients. I was not prepared at all. So I figured, it couldn't be that much different. Okay, and it tells me to season with a little bit more salt. This is kosher salt, so you don't need to go too crazy with it. Okay, got that. All right. And what it also wants you to do is cook it, oven cook it in the pan that you're cooking it in. And I'm not sure about my skillet, so I'm going to be transferring this to another pan. But I want to bring this to a simmer first, and then I'll show you what we do next. Give me a few more minutes. Okay, so like I told you earlier, I am afraid to put my skillet in there because I don't know if it's heat safe. I'm sorry, oven safe. It probably is, but I just don't want to take a chance. So I got my oblong dish out that y'all always see me cook in. What we're going to do, we sprayed it down. We're going to stick the chicken that's half cooked, well, not even half, in the pan. And I'm going to pour the sauce over it, because that was what we were supposed to do, is put the chicken back in the skillet with the sauce, and then stick it in the oven for 20 minutes. So, that's what we're going to do. We just kind of added an extra step onto it. So let me grab this and set it up better. Okay. I'll pour all this over it. Get the rest of that out. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it with foil and stick it in the oven. And then I'll show it to you when it's all said and done. Be back in a minute. Okay, so here's the finished product. It has a lot of sauce over it. Can't really tell on camera, but you pour the sauce over the rice. I just did plain parboiled rice, some green beans, and the chicken. And that's it. It's pretty simple. Sun-dried tomatoes is not typically something I have on hand, but you know, if this turns out to be pretty good, we may keep that may become a staple in the house. I don't know. There you go. Marry me chicken.